Welcome back, everybody, to Open Apple Dreadnaughts. I'm Grandma Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 5 of our Imperial German Navy 1890 Legendary Campaign. So when we last left off, we were at war with the United States, and that's been going very well for us so far. We've basically knocked them out of South America and got our kind of beat the CIA to the punch on the White Powder Empire down here. We're skipping by. We basically started this war to take Panama, but Panama became a free country right before we're able to invade it. So that's kind of out of the question for right now. Hopefully, I don't think they're allied with anybody right now, so hopefully our army just like invades there and takes the canal. But even if it remains as a neutral power, that's fine by me. They're not allied with anybody right now. And we're skipping by Honduras and El Salvador because we could take these in a peace deal. What we're doing now is invasion U.S.A. And the Kaiser has decreed he wants a new vacation home down in New Orleans. So we're landing on the Gulf Coast and taking that away from them. All of my combat fleets are in the area except for the newest one, which is just passing through the Irish Sea now and on its way. Should be there in 2 or 3 turns to help add tonnage to this invasion fleet. Military-wise, we might have some issues here. We have 1.1 million men in our army, 100% logistics, but the U.S. has 2.4 million men in their army, so they are double our size, land forces-wise. So it's going to be like kind of fighting the Chinese once we land. We got to try and end the war quickly once we grab the Gulf Coast from them. And beyond there, I really haven't planned out too much, depending on... I think the Chinese do want to have a tussle with us. I'm not really looking to fight them, because I have nothing on that side of the world. No, looks like their relations with us got a little better. So it might be the French next. We'll see. We'll see. So I think they are at war with Britain. We're 100% with Great Britain, so that might drive down their relations with us. Maybe we'll just go pick on Russia again. I'm not sure. But, let's keep this campaign rolling along. All right, it's now June of 1907, and we really haven't had much happening. I really feel like the American fleets are just trying to avoid me completely. But we did finally have something pop up here. We got a small encounter. 2 my CLs and a destroyer going up against a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser. And that's an older heavy cruiser. She's only 1,000 tons heavier than my light cruisers. These are both Arconas, right? Yes, they are. Let's jump in and fight this one. I did send my one destroyer out scouting ahead of the light cruisers to lock down their fleet. And they were actively sailing away from us. Like, this is the light cruiser here. And we just put a whole shot into it with our 5-inch gun. It looks like it's just done a ton of damage to her. It's going to take a while for my light cruisers to get up here. They only have the 4-inch guns on them and 20 knots of speed. So 4-inch guns are a little bit... They hold them back just a little bit, but not too badly. I just can't fit as many 5-inch guns on there as I can 4-inchers. So that was, that was the trade-off. But those 4-inches are good. Let's see if I can get some torps into this heavy cruiser. Let's see. She got her flood under control, or she's still flooding? Looks like she got it under control, but she's not that much of a danger now. This thing is. And our 5-inch gun is wrecking this light cruiser. We only got the one 5-inch gun and paired dual launchers on this destroyer class. And that thing is doing a lot of damage. Wow. I'm actually really surprised the amount of damage this destroyer has done to the light cruiser. With one 5-inch gun. Look at that. These light cruisers have like, they're old and they have like no, even though they're the same hull design as mine, I don't think they put any armor onto these things. We're just ripping through them. That's another flooding shot. She's finished. Go to the bottom, baby. And this thing should not be able to avoid our torpedoes, as we do have the shorter range fast torpedoes on these destroyers. A little more side of her. We're getting partial pens at HE. That's saying something. We're going to hit her with this entire spread. Might just finish her off with light cruisers even close in. Roll out. Looks like. Not a bad angle. I thought it says she's going to avoid all four of them. I was going to call BS on that. Now let's get back away from that thing, because its gun's going to be a little dangerous to us. It's going to take too long for these heavy cruisers to close in. Look at the torpedoes reloaded before they do. And she's actually turning back towards our light cruiser, so we're kind of hurting her a little bit. That's good. She can't hit us for nothing. Guess you sailed into the smoke bank area. Trained crew. My CLs are now closing in a range on her. There they go. You can back away. But not you guys, not you. Back away. Let's get the bow on so we can launch our forward torp at her and then pass by starboard. These light cruisers do have veteran crews on them, so they're really dangerous ships at this point. We did have some smaller convoy actions, but it's like these two light cruisers going up against like a torpedo boat or a destroyer and one light cruiser just kind of ripping them apart. Ooh, Hamburg took a hit. I know that shot was probably meant for the Condor too. Bow torpedoes out. And hopefully this gives us the angle for Hamburg to put hers out, but I don't think so. Let's detach you. Sail straight on her stern line. It was a dud, was a good hit though. I'm a little surprised that hit. And that torp blew as soon as it hit the water. Go on an angle to get your port side out. Probably not going to be necessary. Over torpedoes out. Another dud. 2 duds in a row. Am I firing American torpedoes? There she goes. Firing American torpedoes. Must be using their ammunition against them. We lost 31 crewmen. They lost 752, a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser, giving us 5,491 victory. It was not worth a lot. Like I said, these are, by their tonnage, they are a little bit older. Not that old, but a little older. Alright, we also have this ambush this turn. 4 of my destroyers going after 2 of their light cruisers, the Wilkes-Barre and the Vicksburg. This should not be a hard fight. I don't. After what one of my destroyers did to one of these light cruisers in the last fight, this should be fairly easy. Let's go jump into this one. All right, we started out almost on top of them. We didn't have them sight for the first minute or two, but got it sighting real fast. We're already starting to land hits on it. Let's see how well everybody does. Quickly going to get the torpedo range on this. Turn your torpedoes off. I'm doing this as usual, one at a time. Trying to get the best aim possible. Really don't even need the torpedoes for this, but I want to get... They have a lot of guns, just like my ships do. And heavier. I think we really got lucky in the last fight with how quickly we took one of these down. Let's aim at your torps, please. Surprised they haven't thrown smoke out. There it goes. Pinpoint the damage. Engine is damaged. Yeah. Need too many torps to do this. Did get some hits on us. We're gonna smoke. 3 of these are gonna hit. 3 of them hit. 1 was a dud. Number 7, and get your torps on the Vicks. Wilkes-Barre is not long for this world. It looks like she might have stopped her flooding already. Vicksburg just ate 3 torpedoes at the same time. For 6. We're going to have you launch another spread at the Wilkes-Barre. At 17, you're going to launch at the Vicks. May not need to. He's still taking on water. That is beautiful looking through the smoke. Beautiful hit. There goes the Wilkes-Barre. Nice, easy little fight. We lost 18 men. They lost 350 and 2 light cruisers. There was an additional 3,388 points to their 4. Alright, we are currently in a port strike. I was debating whether to record this one or not, because I wasn't sure if the American ships were going to fight me or run away from me. They're actually fighting. Because if they chose to run away, I was not catching. Because these are 5 of the Imperial Ambitions, and they max out at 16 knots. Their combat speed is 13. And these guys haven't fought very often. It's got a trained crew. This one's got veterans, seasoned, regular. regular, because I switched up how the fleets were set up, and they're now broken down to 5-ship task forces. So Helgoland is not fought very often. I believe we're going up against 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, and a torpedo boat. This is the heavy cruiser, definitely. Here's the torpedo boat. And it's low on fuel. They just snuck this fleet into port. So they just arrived. I don't know from where, but they did have a lot. I don't know why. The U.S. had a lot of ships out in the Indian Ocean. I think just trying to avoid my fleets. Oh, yeah. That's not going to last. The engines are down. I gotta say, these Imperial Ambitions were probably some of my best ship designs ever because they are still good to go. They're not even that old yet. I think at the next refit they'll be like 15 years old because these are an 1890 design. No, they'll be 20 years old at the next refit, which for warships, ostensibly is really not that old. So these are pre-Dreadnaughts. It's basically an ironclad. Finished off that heavy cruiser yet. Everybody starting to turn their guns on that light cruiser. This is a destroyer or torpedo boat? Torpedo boat. Oof, she's done. That was a big hit on the light cruiser right there. And she does not have long-range torpedoes, but we still might have a hard time staying away from her. So we got to get our 2-inch broadside to bear to take her down. There we go. Self-defense torpedo. I never really designed these ships with close combat action. There's a light cruiser to say, wait for this torpedo on it. Torp might actually hit unless we're still using the American torpedoes. That's gonna miss. Nope. Maybe kiss her right in the bow. And it was a dud. We're firing American torpedoes still. Goodbye, beautiful Italy. Alright, we lost 4 men off the Helgoland with the hit she took. I think she only took a few commands and blows. They lost 809 and 3 ships, a heavy cruiser Montana, light cruiser Tacoma, and a torpedo boat. Beautiful Italy. Give us another 5,959 points to their 3. And we have done it. We have successfully landed on the Gulf Coast, taking that away from the U.S. But we only landed 10,600 men into there, and the U.S. has a few million soldiers still. Yeah, they still have 1.9 million soldiers, 67% army logistics. You think they'd be more rebellious? They were actually higher a few turns ago. So they were at 98 rebellion chance 2 turns ago. Now they're down to 92% chance. It's like once you land on the U.S., the computer's like, yeah, no, we got to fix this. So they got to be the late game boogeyman. So I'm going to immediately call for a peace treaty. Hopefully the AI will accept it. It's not going to let me ask for one. They must have asked for one themselves. So what I am going to do, start moving us off the southeast seaboard here. Start port striking. If they don't take a peace deal, I'm going to immediately launch another invasion. Probably not the best idea in the world, but we might be able to pull it off before the U.S. successfully counterattacks. Give us more impetus for a peace negotiation. Because we have more than enough tonnage to launch more invasions. We have more than enough. We had 100% chance on the Gulf Coast the entire time. So tonnage is not an issue. I only moved one fleet out of the region. I still have this one sitting down here. Bring up. I did move the new home fleet down to help us out here because that was almost 70,000 tons added to the invasion. And this fleet, which is the Hand of the Kaiser fleet group, is going to be the new Caribbean fleet. And I moved the Hammer and the Hanoverians fleet group over to Lagos because they are now the West Africa fleet. I'm slowly going to be, as I create new ships, I'm going to slowly create new stations. Next station is going to be Med Station. After that will be Eastern Africa. And next station after that will be somewhere out here. Probably should just send it. I got this conquest running. I don't have, even if I pulled all my light cruisers in, I don't think I have enough tonnage to pull this off. But my fleet's not going to get there in time to do it anyway. They'll be out of fuel. That would have been nice. I think I would have liked to have based the fleet out of here. 20,000 ton port. Yeah, that's a 20,000 ton port. That would have been a nice one to have. Biggest port Moresby. 1,200. I think this is the biggest port I have in the region. That's another 20,000 port, but I don't want to base the fleet out of the Solomon Islands. But we're going to let this go another turn or two and see if we can't get this peace treaty or we keep rolling with the invasion. It's now July of 1908, and would you look at this? We have taken the southeastern seaboard. I didn't even think we were going to be able to do it. We only had a 40% chance of landing and securing the southeastern seaboard, but we managed to pull it off. I really can't believe it. And this was a harder target than the eastern U.S. seaboard, which is possibly going to be our next target. I'm going to try and give the U.S. another chance at peace here. Maybe they'll take it this time. Maybe they won't. We'll see. I'm going to start moving my fleets up that way now. Sit off of Boston. I'm going to try and keep my battle fleets around the edges. See if we can't screen my invasion battleships. Though they tend to avoid my main fleets and go for the invasion ships. And they should be easier targets for them, but they're proven not to be easy targets. There we go. Sit up Boston. Going for the peace deal right now, and I don't know what port they're going to have us try and invade at, because you never know which one you're going to get. So we're going to send everybody to sit off of all of them, hopefully outside of any mines. I don't see any mines laid up here, but you never know. Maybe we can catch some of these American ships out in the water. We go from the peace deal. They still had 62 ships, but a lot of them, I figured out why they're in the Indian Ocean. They landed on and took Madagascar. I mean, they're fighting a defensive war against us and fought a defensive war for taking Madagascar for some idiotic reason. Don't know why, but they did. But we're taking so much of their land, their army logistics is going to climb higher naturally, even with the lack of ships. So we got to sink as many of those as possible to keep their logistics down. And I did build more light cruisers to start seating around my ports. So I did not have enough light cruisers at all, but they are on their way. Start seating them around up here, and then start moving a bunch to the Caribbean. Let's see, hopefully they take the peace deal this time. Otherwise, I'm going to be rolling up the entire eastern seaboard of the U.S. I will not go after the western U.S. because the Panama Canal is still not open. It's still not open for quite a few years yet. So I really don't want to have to sail around South America to go after the western U.S. I really don't. And the war continues after failed negotiations. The Americans turned down the Kaiser's offering of a peace deal. So, yeah. We're going to keep kicking their asses. We got ourselves a clash of fleets right here. They're going after one of my smaller invasion fleets here with the 5 battleships. The Thuringen, Preußen, Scharnhorst, Schleswig-Holstein, and the Palmer. We got the battleship West Virginia, which is actually an old battleship. But she does have 13-inch guns. That's dangerous. She's not very big, but she's got heavier guns than we do. Heavy cruisers, Seattle, Chicago, Salem, Bremerton. Seattle looks like a separate class than the other two. She's got 6.8s. I'm not too worried about her. She's got 6.8. She's a newer, heavier one. The older ones have 9s. All right. CL's Cabot, Vallejo, Milwaukee, Anniston, and Concord all look to be the same class. You got a Manchester. I don't think we fought the Manchesters. 2 single 7-inch guns. No, I don't think we fought these. I think these might be fairly new. But not by their tonnage. 3 destroyers and 2 torpedo boats. This might get a little hot for us. I don't know. Alright, we have engaged the American fleet at a range of about 11.5 kilometers. They were actually firing at us first. They had us way out spotted. And it looks like some of their ships are carrying damage already from whatever they've been doing. And the Pomeran's already carrying damage. I think she might have taken a mine hit at some point. Let's see, what are we looking at here? One of these is the battleship. You are. How cute. It looks like a bathtub toy. Look at this thing. That's kind of like really squat. She can't have a lot of below deck space. She might flood out easy. Let's drop you guys to cruise speed. I'm going to try and keep us at as long of a range as possible. At least until this battleship is taken care of. Hopefully we got the better tech when it comes to range finding. No, maybe not. I got really close. Everybody keep your mains on. Battleship, please. Secondaries can fire at this interesting light cruiser. What in God's green earth am I looking at? I can't build anything like that. Game won't let me. What the? That turret might already be knocked out. Can they even turn and face us without being broadside? Possibly not. That's definitely a heavy cruiser. That looks like the 9-incher. You know what? This could be the other heavy cruiser with the 6-inchers. This could be what we're looking at here. Ooh, somebody's flashing up. I don't think it was the battleship. Maybe it was. You hit something in that smoke back there. I don't know what just flashed off, but something just flashed off. I think it might have been the battleship. We're lucky it was the battleship. cruiser's just about finished. I'm more worried about their destroyers coming in on torpedo runs than anything else. These guys low on fuel? I don't think so. Looking at some really interesting designs here. These are all our heavies. Destroyer's got an interesting... Destroyer's got a lot of guns. 2 dual sets of launchers on her. That's a pretty heavily armed destroyer. On horse, get your secondaries onto her. Armor is still holding up really well. Somebody else just sank. That heavy cruiser we were pounding at the start. So it's taking on one. I'm worried about this right now. Bomber, get your secondaries onto that destroyer. One good thing about these ships is I can actually, if they fire torpedoes at me, I can probably slow down to a dead stop and avoid them. We launched one out, but I don't think that's going to hit anything. That's worrisome. He's going to launch. Take her down. Before she launches. Probably not going to happen. He's eating those shots like a champ. Come on, go down before you launch. Whew. All right. What's this out here? Heavy cruiser moving away from us. They're starting to turn tail. I think they might be starting to turn tail on us. Yeah, we definitely gotta get something bigger than 9-inch guns on these things at the next refit. Yeah, that battleship went down in that flash fire. That's what flashed off. Too bad we couldn't see that. He's now got some better shots on her. We're almost in it. Turn away. You may not get in range to drop. What hit us? Some heavy damage on forward. She's really taking next to no damage in this fight. The Scarn Horse looks like she's more heavily damaged than she really is. There's a lot of scorch marks on her. It's right outside of their torpedo range. That might strike. No, gonna miss. Up against, they're not a torpedo danger now. Closer to that heavy. Swing out, get this heavy, go back for the rest of their fleet. They're moving into a chase on us. We've seen the AI do that before for some weird reason. They run into a circle around us. It's kind of odd. Oh, you do not have a lot of below deck space at all. You're going to flood out easy. Hit you in the right spots. There goes our engine. Like somebody might be flat. No, not right now. Oh yeah, you're not long for this war. You're not getting control of that flooding. Let's circle back in and kill the rest of them. Who knows, maybe the U.S. will take a peace deal after this battle. I think they only had the 4 battleships and that reduced them by 1. Yeah, they should have ran from this fight. All the damage we've taken so far is just superficial. We got lucky none of those rounds from the Battleship's 13s hit us, I'll be honest. You're so slow, we're an easy target. They give me that low fuel, these things run at the same speed as we do at cruise. If you hear the whining of my husky sitting behind me trying to beg me for another snack, he just had one not too long ago. We're not going to catch you. Oh, you got an engine damage. We actually might be able to catch the Vallejo. Speed this along. I'm going to see if I can catch these light cruisers out here. I'm not going to hold you all here for the chase. Alright, I did manage to finally chase down those last two light cruisers. It did take a while. As I said, we took superficial damage. We lost 134 crewmen. They lost 5,582 and 15 ships. Another 33,994 victory points to their 64. Sinking the battleship, which I can't remember the name of, but it's North Dakota class. 4 heavy cruisers, 5 lights, 3 destroyers, and 2 torpedo boats. And the Americans are just refusing to give up already. So they rushed another fleet into the region. This one, a heavy cruiser task force supported by 3 CLs, 2 destroyers, and 2 torpedo boats, going against 10 of my Imperial Ambition battleships: the Schlesien, the Hessen, the Deutschland, the Oster, the Kaiser, Imperial Ambition, Hagen, Kaiser Wilhelm the Gross, the Worth, and the Odin. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit one-sided unless they get in really quick with their destroyers. So we started engaging the American ships at a range of around 9 kilometers, and they look like they're low on fuel. It's going to make this so much easier. They must have rushed these guys back from the Indian Ocean. Down to cruise speeds, put some better aim, and see if we can't knock these things out pretty quickly. We got engine damage. She's not going to be long for this world. I put everybody just into one long battle line of 10 battleships. We're going age of sail on this. These things are built to broadside, and that's what we're going to do. Stay away from those destroyers if we can. There goes a San Diego. There goes a torpedo boat. There's a heavy cruiser Boston. All these crews are veterans or seasoned at this point. There's, even with the lighter hitting 9-inch guns, these ships are just deadly. And there's just a wall of lead flying out. Oh, we got a hit. Wouldn't be surprised if I lose a crewman or 2 to splinters. Like cruisers at the same time. This last one. And she's trying her damnedest to get away, but that ain't gonna happen. Once again, we're probably firing more ordnance at this than she's actually worth. Let's get into that smoke. You're not getting away, girl. I've got to get better towers onto these ships. Bloodshot's not going to end her. Now, there's some more. That should be an ending right there. Just take it on water fast. San Juan. Enemy smoke spotted northwest. Oh, that means, you know what? I think one destroyer might have not engaged us, but that's fine. We'll let that one run. Nope, 2 of the torpedo boats. Okay. AI does that sometimes. It won't engage the torpedo boats. I lost 3 men. They lost 2,044 and 8 ships, giving us another 15,278 victory points to their 2 points. Putting down the heavy cruisers Boston, Huron, San Diego, light cruisers San Juan, Mobile, and Galveston, and destroyers Sproston and Paul Ignatius. Don't know the names of torpedo boats because we did not identify them. It's now March of 1909, and the Americans have sent another heavy cruiser task force at the same battleship fleet again to Schlesien, Hessen, Deutschland, Oster, Kaiser, Imperial Ambitions, Hagen, Kaiser Wilhelm de Gross, Worth, and Odin. It's time to send the heavy cruisers Missoula, Rochester, Scranton. Missoula and Rochester look fairly new. 1 dual 9-inch gun, 18... Huh? That's interesting. I'll have to take a look at those. And some Manchester-class light cruisers, which we faced off with before. So that's a newer heavy cruiser. We haven't seen this one yet. 1 dual 9-inch gun, I mean. Okay. Let's get in there and sink these things. Alright, we've engaged the American fleet at a range of around 11 kilometers. And some of these ships are carrying damage already. He didn't fight us yet, but I think she might have hit some of our mines with somebody. So it's got 1 dual 9-inch forward. That's an... This design makes no sense to me. 1 dual 9-inch forward and the rest of it's 4-inch casemates. It's a design that makes no sense. Oh, they actually got a good hit on the Kaiser there. They got lucky. Got a line. Let's slow you guys down to full speed and some better aim going. There's a Rochester. Missoula hitting us? It is. Take her out before she drops. Oh, we're well out of her range. Never mind. Cruiser, 1 heavy, 1 light left. Cook off. Nice. I've kind of missed it already. There goes Missoula. Now it's just time for the Manchester. She's not long for this world. She's going to sit here and suck up these hits and not take any more flood damage. There we go. There you go. didn't take too long. They did lose 93 men in this fight because they did get that good hit on the Kaiser. They lost another 2,600 men and 7 ships, gives another 18,962 victory points to their 59. Every cruiser's 2 lights, a destroyer, and a torpedo boat. They really can't have much of a fleet left at this point. We are doing something I thought was going to be impossible. We have just taken the eastern U.S. I can't believe this. The southeastern seaboard like blew my mind, but having both the southeastern seaboard, the eastern seaboard, and the Gulf Coast all at the same time? Holy crap. So we're going to keep this war running. I can't invade Maine this turn, so I'm hoping there is no peace deal this turn, because I did have to try and appease the French. We're staring at a war with the French right now. We're at negative 82 with the French, and I keep getting it up a little, it keeps dropping back down. So we're going to be going to war with them. So I need this war with the U.S. finished, but not until after I take Maine. Then we can leave them with, California and central U.S. Totally denuded of everything. How they still have 109 billion GDP is beyond me. But we do have them knocked down to 48 ships. They are building 27 more and repairing 4. They are now also at war with the U.K. and China. So, yeah, nothing's going good for them right now. British Empire is attacking the Guatemala, which the U.S. just captured. So I don't understand what the U.S. is doing. It's taking all these smaller places out here while I'm landing on mainland U.S. It's really weird. But I'll take it. It's just making my job that much easier. Start surrounding the one port up here in Maine. I have a feeling that we're going to get a peace treaty this turn. Now that I don't want the peace deal, we're probably going to end up with one. Is what I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. And I think, like I said before, we are accomplishing the impossible. We have just taken Maine. So we now control the entire eastern seaboard of the United States, along with the Gulf Coast. Next up is the western coast, but we got to get all the way around South America to get that. But it's November 1909. We're staring at a war with France. So I'm going to push for a peace deal with the United States. So I need to get these ships into dry dock for the 1910 refit. I don't know if they'll be out before the next war kicks off. I haven't had a variance. You're coming down here to Georgetown because that's the fleet. You guys move into New York. Everybody needs repairs and fuel. You guys coming in at Philadelphia. You guys coming port in here at Norfolk. Oh, 2 of my fleets combined. No. What we got here? Caribbean fleet and the Kaiser fleet combined. All right. So the hand of the Kaiser fleet's coming down here to Georgetown. That's a new one. So Caronel, Mecklenburg. Kona, Condor, Hamburg, and 5 of the destroyers. They're all the same class. You guys go down to Georgetown because that's going to be your new station. Caribbean class has got to go back to Homeport, and the Ham and Hanoverians, you're now going to be my West Africa fleet based out of Lagos. Now I'm going to try and get this peace deal with the U.S. Hopefully we get it. All right, it's now January of 1910. And the Americans still have not gone for a peace deal with us, and I am now actively paying off the French to keep us from going to war with them anytime soon. It's not going to last long. So I desperately need this peace deal to go through. But I'm going to end this episode here on this beautiful note, looking at this map right here. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. I just wish we had control of the Panama Canal Zone, which doesn't open for another 4 years yet, but it would make going back to war with the U.S. that much easier. So I'm going to end this one here so we can open up with the 1910 refits on the next episode. So once again, if you're a new viewer, return viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. Follow along with the series and enjoying it. Don't forget to drop an AP shell into that like button, an HE shell into that comment section. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.